Hello, beautiful soul. Come sit with me for a while. I want you to take a deep breath and just allow yourself to be exactly where you are right now. There's something so precious about this moment we're sharing together, and I feel honored that you've chosen to spend this time with me today. You know, I've been thinking about you before we even met. I've been thinking about the dreams you carry in your heart, the visions that light you up when you close your eyes, and perhaps the frustration you might be feeling because those dreams haven't quite shown up in your life yet. And that's perfectly okay. That's exactly where we need to start. There's something beautiful happening right now as you listen to these words. You're opening yourself to possibility. You're saying yes to something deeper, something that your soul has been calling for. And that takes such courage, my dear. It takes courage to believe that life can be different, that you can be the conscious creator of your experience. I want you to know that whatever brought you here today, whether it's a longing for more abundance, a desire for deeper love, or simply a knowing that there's something more available to you, you're in exactly the right place. Your heart guided you here, and your heart is always wise. It knows things that your mind hasn't figured out yet. You see, for so many years, I believed that life just happened to me. I thought I was at the mercy of circumstances, other people's decisions, and forces beyond my control. I lived in a world where I felt small and powerless, where my dreams felt too big and my worthiness felt too small. And perhaps you felt some of that too. Perhaps you've wondered why some people seem to have the magic touch while you're still waiting for your turn. But here's what I've learned, and here's what I want to share with you today. You already are a master manifester. You've been manifesting your entire life. Every thought you've thought, every belief you've held, every emotion you've felt has been creating your reality moment by moment. The question isn't whether you can manifest. The question is, are you ready to manifest consciously? This isn't about becoming someone different. This isn't about fixing something that's broken in you. This is about remembering who you truly are and aligning with the incredible creative power that lives within you. It's about making some gentle shifts in how you think and feel so that what shows up in your life matches what your heart truly desires. Today, we're going to explore 5 beautiful shifts that will change everything about how you create your reality. These aren't complicated techniques or difficult practices. They're gentle, loving ways to work with your mind and heart so that you become a magnet for all the good that's waiting for you. And I want you to be gentle with yourself as we go through this together. There's no rush. There's no pressure to get it perfect. This is about loving yourself into a new way of being, one small step at a time. Your willingness to be here, your openness to possibility, is already creating ripples of change in your life. So let's begin this beautiful journey together. Let's discover the master manifester that you've always been, and let's help you step into that power with grace, with love, and with absolute trust in your ability to create a life that makes your heart sing. You've been creating your reality every single day of your life, and you probably didn't even know it. This isn't your fault, darling. Most of us were never taught how our thoughts and feelings work together to shape our experience. We were taught to focus on the outside world, to work harder, to push more, to make things happen through force and effort alone. But manifestation works differently. It works from the inside out. Every single thing in your life right now, from the relationships you have to the amount of money in your bank account, from the job you go to each day to the way you feel about yourself, all of it has been created by the thoughts you've been thinking and the beliefs you've been holding. This might feel overwhelming at first. You might look around at your life and think, but I didn't choose this struggle. I didn't choose this limitation. And you're right, sweetie, you didn't consciously choose it. But somewhere along the way, you picked up beliefs and thought patterns that created these experiences. And the beautiful news is that if you created it unconsciously, you can absolutely recreate it consciously. Most of us have been what I call reactive manifestors. We look at what's happening around us and we react to it with our thoughts and emotions. Someone treats us poorly and we think thoughts about not being valued. We see others succeeding while we struggle and we think thoughts about not being good enough. We face challenges and we think thoughts about life being hard and unfair. But here's what happens when we react this way. Those reactive thoughts create more of the same experiences. When we think thoughts of not being valued, we unconsciously attract more situations where we're not valued. When we think thoughts of not being good enough, we create more evidence of that belief. When we think thoughts about life being hard, we manifest more hardship. This isn't about blame, my dear. This is about understanding. This is about recognizing that you have been powerful all along. You've been creating through your consciousness, even when you didn't know that's what you were doing. And now that you know, you can choose to create differently. Conscious manifestation is about becoming aware of the thoughts you're thinking and the feelings you're feeling, and then gently guiding them toward what you actually want to create. It's about moving from reaction to response, from unconscious creation to deliberate creation. Think about the thoughts that run through your mind on an average day. How many of them are focused on what you don't want? How many of them are worried about problems? How many of them are replaying past hurts or imagining future fears? These aren't bad thoughts, and you're not wrong for having them, but they are creating your reality. When you begin to pay attention to your inner world, when you start to notice the patterns of thought and feeling that you've been running on autopilot, you begin to reclaim your creative power. You start to see that you have a choice in every moment about where you place your attention and what you choose to believe. This is the difference between being a victim of your circumstances and being the conscious creator of your life. It's the difference between hoping things will get better and knowing that you have the power to make them better. It's the difference between waiting for your dreams to somehow show up and actively calling them into your experience through the power of your consciousness. Your thoughts become things, beautiful one. Your beliefs become your reality. Your feelings become magnetic forces that attract experiences that match them. This isn't mystical mumbo-jumbo. This is how consciousness works. This is how life works. And once you truly understand this, everything changes. Now, let's talk about one of the most important shifts you can make in your manifestation journey. This shift alone can transform every area of your life, and it starts with looking at how you think about abundance and scarcity. Most of us grew up in a world that taught us to think from lack. We were told that there isn't enough to go around. We learned that if someone else has something good, that means less for us. We picked up beliefs that money is hard to come by, that love is rare, that opportunities are limited. These beliefs feel so normal, so true, because they're everywhere around us. But here's what I want you to understand. Lack is not the truth about this universe. Scarcity is not the natural state of things. When you look at nature, do you see lack? When you watch the ocean, do you worry that it might run out of waves? When you see the stars at night, do you think there aren't enough of them? Of course not. Nature operates from abundance. The universe operates from abundance. Abundance is the natural flow of life. There are infinite possibilities, infinite resources, infinite love, infinite creativity available to us at all times. But when we think from lack, when we operate from scarcity, we block ourselves from experiencing this natural abundance. Let me share something with you. When you think thoughts like, I can't afford this, or there's not enough money, or good things don't happen to people like me, you're not just describing your current situation. You're actually creating more of that situation. Your subconscious mind takes these thoughts as instructions for what to create in your life. Your subconscious doesn't judge your thoughts. It doesn't decide whether they're good for you or not. It simply says, oh, this person believes there isn't enough money. Let me create more experiences that match that belief. It's like having a very literal assistant who takes everything you say as a request. But when you start to shift your thinking from lack to abundance, everything begins to change. When you start to notice and appreciate the abundance that's already in your life, you tell your subconscious, this is what I want more of. And your subconscious goes to work creating more experiences that match abundance. This doesn't mean pretending you don't have challenges or ignoring real circumstances in your life. It means choosing to focus on what's working, what's flowing, what's already abundant in your experience. It means training your mind to look for evidence of abundance rather than evidence of lack. Start noticing the abundance of air you breathe. Notice the abundance of thoughts you can think. Notice the abundance of choices you have every day. Notice the abundance of love in your heart, the abundance of possibilities before you, the abundance of this moment right here, right now. When you're at the grocery store, instead of focusing on what you can't afford, notice the abundance of choices available to you. When you're driving down the street, instead of thinking about what you don't have, notice the abundance of trees, the abundance of sky, the abundance of life all around you. This might feel like a small thing, but it's actually revolutionary. You're rewiring your brain to recognize abundance as the truth. You're training your consciousness to align with the natural flow of the universe. And when your consciousness aligns with abundance, abundance begins to show up in your physical experience. You can start right now by simply saying to yourself, I live in an abundant universe. There is more than enough for everyone, including me. Notice how that feels in your body. Notice if there's any resistance, any part of you that wants to argue with that statement. That resistance is just old programming, and it's okay. You don't have to force it away. Just gently, lovingly, choose to feed the abundance thought instead. Abundance thinking isn't about getting more things, though more things might show up. It's about recognizing the fullness of life that's already available to you. It's about opening your heart to receive all the good that wants to flow to you. It's about trusting that in a universe of infinite possibilities, there's definitely a place for your dreams to come true. Now, let's explore another beautiful shift that will change how you approach manifestation completely. This shift is about moving from forcing to allowing, from pushing to flowing, from trying to make things happen to letting them happen naturally. So many of us have been taught that if we want something, we need to work harder for it. We need to push, to struggle, to make it happen through sheer force of will. And while action is important, there's a difference between inspired action and desperate action. There's a difference between moving toward your dreams and frantically chasing them. When we try to force our manifestations, when we grip too tightly to our desires, we actually push them away from us. It's like trying to catch a butterfly by chasing it around the garden. The more you run after it, the more it flies away from you. But if you sit quietly in the garden, if you become still and peaceful, that butterfly might just land on your shoulder. Forcing comes from fear. It comes from believing that if we don't make something happen, it won't happen at all. It comes from thinking that we're responsible for controlling every detail of how our dreams unfold. But forcing creates resistance, both within us and in the energy around us. When we force, we're sending out a vibration that says, I don't trust the universe to deliver this to me. And the universe responds to that lack of trust by making our path more difficult. Allowing, on the other hand, comes from trust. It comes from knowing that the universe is always working in our favor, even when we can't see how. It comes from understanding that there's a wisdom greater than our conscious mind that knows exactly how to bring our dreams to us in the most perfect way and timing. This doesn't mean being passive or doing nothing. Allowing is actually a very active state. It's about staying open to opportunities, following your intuition, taking inspired action when it feels good and right. But it's also about releasing your attachment to exactly how and when things should happen. Think about a river flowing toward the ocean. The river doesn't struggle or force its way. It simply flows, naturally finding the path of least resistance. Sometimes it moves quickly over rocks and rapids. Sometimes it moves slowly through peaceful meadows. But it always reaches its destination because it works with the natural forces, not against them. Your manifestations want to flow to you just as naturally as that river flows to the ocean. But when you try to control every twist and turn, when you insist things happen in a specific way or time frame, you create dams and blockages in the flow. You make the journey much harder than it needs to be. I learned this lesson in a very personal way. For years, I tried to force my career to look a certain way. I had such specific ideas about how success should come, what it should look like, when it should happen. And the more I pushed and struggled and tried to make it happen my way, the more frustrated and exhausted I became. Nothing seemed to work. But when I finally learned to relax, to trust, to allow the universe to show me the way, everything began to flow. Opportunities came that I never could have planned or forced. Doors opened that I didn't even know existed. My path unfolded in ways that were far more beautiful and perfect than anything I could have orchestrated with my limited human perspective. Allowing starts with your breath. When you notice yourself getting tight and anxious about your manifestations, when you feel that familiar urge to control and force, take a deep, slow breath. Let your shoulders drop, let your jaw relax, let your whole body soften. As you breathe, say to yourself, I trust the perfect timing of my life. I trust the universe to bring me what I need when I need it. Feel the relief that comes with releasing the burden of having to figure everything out and make everything happen yourself. Allowing also means staying open to how your desires might manifest. Maybe you want more money, but you're only looking for it to come through your current job. Maybe you want love, but you're only open to it looking a certain way. Maybe you want healing, but you're only willing to accept specific methods. When we're too narrow in our expectations, we miss the thousands of ways the universe might want to bless us. Practice saying yes to unexpected opportunities. Practice being curious instead of certain. Practice trusting that even when things don't go according to your plan, they might be going according to a much better plan that you couldn't have imagined. The art of allowing is really the art of surrender. Not the kind of surrender that gives up on your dreams, but the kind of surrender that gives your dreams the space to manifest in their highest form. It's about holding your desires lightly with an open palm instead of a clenched fist. There's another profound shift that can transform your manifestation abilities completely, and it has to do with where you place your attention when it comes to time. Most people spend their energy focused on the future, waiting for their dreams to someday manifest, instead of recognizing the creative power that's available to them right here, right now. We've been taught to think that manifestation is about creating something in the future. We set goals for next year, make plans for next month, and constantly live in the space of, when this happens, then I'll be happy. But here's what I've discovered. The only moment you can actually create anything is this moment. The only time you have any power is right now. Your future is being created by what you're thinking and feeling in this present moment. If you're spending your now thinking about lack, your future will reflect lack. If you're spending your now feeling grateful and abundant, your future will reflect abundance. The future isn't some distant place where your dreams live. The future is being born from the quality of your consciousness right now. When we constantly focus on what we want to manifest someday, we actually keep it in the someday category. We train our subconscious to see our desires as always just out of reach, always coming tomorrow, but never here today. This creates a perpetual state of waiting, of longing, of not having. But when you learn to bring the energy of your desires into this present moment, when you learn to feel grateful for what you want as if it's already yours, you collapse the time between wanting and having. You step into the vibration of your fulfilled desire right now, and that vibration draws your manifestation to you much more quickly. This isn't about pretending your current circumstances are different than they are. This is about accessing the feeling place of your fulfilled desire and letting that feeling guide your thoughts and actions in this moment. It's about recognizing that how you feel right now is creating what you'll experience next. Let's say you want to manifest more financial abundance. Instead of constantly thinking, I will have more money someday, start thinking, I am so grateful for the abundance that flows to me. Instead of waiting to feel prosperous until you have more money, choose to feel prosperous right now. Look for evidence of abundance that's already in your life and let yourself feel genuinely grateful for it. When you feel grateful for abundance, even before you can see it with your eyes, you're sending out the vibration of abundance. You're becoming a match for more abundance. You're telling the universe through your feelings, this is what I want more of. The present moment is also where your intuition speaks to you. It's where you receive guidance about what actions to take, what opportunities to say yes to, what paths to follow. But if you're always focused on the future, if your mind is always somewhere else, you miss these precious messages from your inner wisdom. Start bringing your attention back to now throughout your day. When you're eating, really taste your food. When you're walking, feel your feet on the ground. When you're with people, be fully present with them. This practice of presence isn't just good for your peace of mind. It's actually a powerful manifestation tool because it puts you in alignment with the creative force of life. The creative force of life only operates in the present moment. You can't create anything in the past because it's already gone. You can't create anything in the future because it hasn't arrived yet. All creation happens now. All manifestation happens now. All transformation happens now. When you're truly present, you also become aware of all the miracles that are constantly occurring around you. You notice the synchronicities, the signs, the little gifts from the universe that are always flowing to you. These aren't coincidences. They're evidence that you're connected to a loving intelligence that's always supporting you. Practice gratitude for what's happening right now in your life. Even if your current circumstances aren't perfect, there's always something to appreciate. There's always some small evidence of grace, of love, of possibility. When you acknowledge these present moment blessings, you invite more blessings to flow. The power is in the now, beautiful soul. The magic is in the now. Your dreams aren't waiting for you in some distant future. They're wanting to be born through your consciousness in this very moment. Now we come to perhaps one of the most important shifts of all, and this one touches the very core of manifestation. It's the shift from self-doubt to self-trust, from questioning your worthiness to knowing your inherent value. From wondering if you deserve good things to understanding that you were born deserving everything beautiful. Self-doubt is one of the biggest blocks to manifestation, and it's also one of the most common. So many beautiful souls walk around carrying this quiet voice inside that whispers, "Who am I to want this? Who am I to dream this big? Who am I to believe I deserve something so wonderful?" That voice of self-doubt isn't really yours, darling. It's a collection of all the times someone told you that you weren't enough, all the messages you received that suggested you needed to be different to be lovable, all the experiences that made you question your inherent worth. But those messages were never true. They were just the fears and limitations of others being passed along to you. The truth about you is that you were born worthy. You didn't come into this world needing to earn your value or prove you're deserving. You came in complete, whole, and infinitely precious. Nothing you've done or haven't done, nothing you've achieved or haven't achieved, nothing you've been or haven't been has changed that fundamental truth about who you are. When you doubt yourself, when you question whether you're worthy of your dreams, you send out a mixed signal to the universe. Part of you is saying, I want this beautiful thing, but another part is saying, but I probably don't deserve it. And the universe responds to the stronger signal, which is often the self-doubt because it carries so much emotional charge. But when you learn to trust yourself, when you learn to believe in your own worthiness, when you learn to stand in your inherent value, you become an incredibly powerful manifestor. You send out a clear, strong signal that says, I am worthy of all good things, and I trust myself to receive them and use them wisely. Self-trust isn't about thinking you're perfect or never making mistakes. It's about trusting your inner wisdom, trusting your heart's desires, trusting that you have everything within you to create the life you're dreaming of. It's about believing that your dreams were placed in your heart for a reason, and that reason is that you're meant to live them. Your desires aren't random. They aren't accidents. The things that light you up, the dreams that make your heart sing, the visions that inspire you, these are all clues from your soul about what wants to manifest through you. When you trust these desires instead of questioning them, you open the door for them to become real. One of the most powerful ways to build self-trust is through what I call mirror work. This is simply the practice of looking into your own eyes in the mirror and speaking to yourself with love and appreciation. I know this might feel uncomfortable at first. Many of us have spent years avoiding really looking at ourselves, or only looking to find flaws and things to criticize. But your relationship with yourself is the foundation of everything else in your life. If you don't believe you're worthy of love, how can you attract healthy, loving relationships? If you don't believe you're capable of success, how can you manifest abundance? If you don't trust your own wisdom and intuition, how can you make choices that lead to fulfillment? Start small with mirror work. Look into your eyes and simply say, "Hello, beautiful." Notice what comes up. Notice if there's resistance, if there's a voice that wants to argue or criticize. That's just old programming, and it's okay. You don't have to fight it or force it away. Just gently, lovingly, choose to speak kindly to yourself anyway. Tell yourself things like, I am learning to trust myself more each day. I am worthy of all the love and abundance that life has to offer. I believe in my dreams because they believe in me. Even if these words feel foreign at first, even if part of you doesn't believe them yet, keep saying them. You're planting new seeds in the garden of your consciousness. Self-trust also means trusting your timing. Trusting that you're exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, growing exactly as you need to grow. It means being patient and compassionate with yourself as you evolve and expand. It means knowing that your journey is perfect for you, even when it doesn't look like anyone else's journey. When you truly trust yourself, you stop looking outside for validation and approval. You stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to want what you want or dream what you dream. You become your own authority, your own cheerleader, your own source of encouragement and support. This doesn't mean you don't value input from others or that you become closed to feedback. It means you learn to filter everything through your own inner knowing. It means you give more weight to what feels true in your heart than to what others think you should do or be or want. Trust yourself, beautiful one. Trust that you wouldn't have these dreams if you weren't meant to live them. trust that you have everything within you to create a life that makes your soul sing. Trust that you are worthy, deserving, and capable of manifesting miracles, because you absolutely are. There's one more beautiful shift that will complete your transformation into a manifestation master, and this one might be the most freeing of all. It's the shift from attachment to outcome freedom, from needing things to happen in a specific way to trusting that what comes will be even better than what you imagined. Attachment is like holding your breath. When you're attached to a specific outcome, when you absolutely need something to happen in a particular way or time frame, you create tension in your energy field. You grip so tightly to your vision that you don't leave room for magic to happen. You become so focused on one possible path that you miss the dozens of other beautiful paths that might be opening up for you. Don't misunderstand me, sweetheart. Having clear desires is important. Knowing what you want gives the universe a target to aim for. But there's a difference between having preferences and being attached to outcomes. Preferences are light and flexible. Attachment is heavy and rigid. When you're attached, you create what I call manifestation anxiety. You check constantly to see if your desire is showing up yet. You worry that maybe it's not working, maybe you're doing something wrong, maybe it's just not meant for you. This worried, anxious energy actually pushes your manifestations away because worry and anxiety are not a vibrational match for the good things you want to attract. But when you hold your desires with an open palm, when you say to the universe, this or something better, you create space for miracles. You allow life to surprise you with possibilities you never even considered. You become available to receive gifts that are even more wonderful than what you originally asked for. I remember when I was struggling with my health challenges many years ago. I was so attached to healing happening in a specific way, through specific treatments, within a specific time frame. The more attached I became, the more frustrated and disappointed I felt when things didn't unfold as I expected. But when I learned to surrender the how and when I learned to trust that my healing would come in the perfect way at the perfect time, everything shifted. The healing did come, but it came through paths I never would have chosen or expected. It came through experiences that transformed not just my body, but my entire understanding of life. Had I remained attached to my original vision, I would have missed the even greater gifts that were waiting for me. Outcome freedom doesn't mean you don't care about your dreams. It means you care about them so much that you're willing to let them manifest in their highest form, even if that form looks different than what you initially imagined. It means trusting that the universe has a perspective you don't have, access to resources you don't know about, and timing that's more perfect than anything your human mind could orchestrate. This shift also frees you from the exhausting job of trying to control everything. When you're attached to specific outcomes, you feel like you have to monitor and manage every detail. You have to make sure everything goes according to your plan. But when you practice outcome freedom, you can relax into the knowing that there's a greater intelligence at work, orchestrating things in ways that serve your highest good. Practice saying, I release this desire to the universe with love and trust that what comes to me will be perfect for my growth and joy. Notice how that feels in your body. Notice the relief that comes with letting go of the burden of having to control everything. Outcome freedom also means being grateful for what shows up, even if it's not exactly what you expected. Sometimes the universe gives us stepping stones instead of the final destination all at once. Sometimes we receive preparation instead of immediate manifestation. When we can appreciate these gifts instead of dismissing them because they're not our ultimate goal, we stay in the flow of receiving. Trust that your heart's desires are on their way to you. Trust that they're manifesting in the most perfect way possible. Trust that when they arrive, you'll look back and see how every delay, every detour, every unexpected turn was actually part of the perfect plan. Now that we've explored these 5 beautiful shifts, let's talk about how they all work together to create a complete transformation in your manifestation abilities. These shifts aren't separate techniques that you use one at a time. They're like instruments in an orchestra, each one contributing to a beautiful symphony of conscious creation. When you embrace abundance thinking while also practicing allowing, you create a powerful combination of expecting good things while staying relaxed about how they come. When you bring present moment awareness to your self-trust practices, you strengthen your ability to hear and follow your inner guidance. When you combine outcome freedom with abundance thinking, you become incredibly magnetic because you're open to receiving in unlimited ways. The beauty of these shifts is that they support and strengthen each other. As you become more trusting of yourself, it becomes easier to allow instead of force. As you develop present moment awareness, it becomes natural to release attachment to specific timelines. As you shift into abundance thinking, self-trust grows because you begin to see evidence that the universe really does support you. You don't need to master all 5 shifts before you start seeing results. Even working with one shift consistently will begin to change your manifestation abilities. But as you gradually incorporate all 5 into your daily experience, you'll find that manifesting becomes less like work and more like play. It becomes less about struggling to make things happen and more about joyfully allowing them to unfold. Think of these shifts as new habits of thought and feeling. Just like any new habit, they require practice and patience with yourself. Some days you'll remember to think abundantly and trust the process. Other days you might catch yourself falling back into old patterns of forcing or attachment. Both are perfectly normal parts of the growth process. The key is to be gentle with yourself as you learn. When you notice yourself thinking from lack, don't criticize yourself. Simply say, "Oh, there's that old pattern again." Let me gently shift into abundance thinking. When you catch yourself trying to control outcomes, don't judge yourself. Just breathe and remind yourself to trust the perfect unfolding of your life. These shifts become easier and more natural with practice. What feels forced or artificial at first will eventually become your new normal way of thinking and being. You'll find yourself naturally looking for abundance instead of lack, naturally allowing instead of forcing, naturally trusting instead of doubting. As you integrate these shifts, you might also notice changes in other areas of your life that you weren't even trying to improve. When you change your consciousness, when you shift how you think and feel about life, everything in your experience begins to shift. Relationships improve, health gets better, opportunities appear, creativity flows more freely. This is the magic of working with consciousness instead of just working with circumstances. When you change the inner, the outer naturally follows. When you transform your mind, you transform your life. So as you begin to implement these shifts, here are some gentle suggestions for making them a natural part of your daily experience. Choose one shift to focus on first. Don't try to transform everything at once. Pick the shift that feels most appealing or most needed in your life right now, and spend a week or 2 really practicing it. If you choose abundance thinking, spend your days looking for evidence of abundance everywhere. Notice the abundance of air, of choices, of possibilities. Practice gratitude for what you already have. Catch yourself when you think thoughts of lack and gently redirect toward abundance. If you choose allowing over forcing, practice relaxing throughout your day. When you feel yourself getting tense about outcomes, take deep breaths and remind yourself to trust. Look for ways to take inspired action rather than desperate action. Notice the difference between flowing and pushing. If you choose present moment power, practice bringing your attention back to now throughout the day. Really taste your food. Really listen when people speak. Really feel your body as you move through your activities. Notice how much creative power is available to you in each moment. If you choose self-trust, practice speaking kindly to yourself. Do some mirror work each day, even if it's just for a minute. Trust your instincts and intuition more. Make decisions from your heart rather than from fear. Celebrate your uniqueness instead of comparing yourself to others. If you choose outcome freedom, practice holding your desires lightly. Add this or something better to your manifestation work. Notice when you're gripping too tightly to specific results and consciously choose to let go. Trust that what comes will be perfect for you. After you've spent some time with one shift, gradually add another one, then another. There's no rush, no timeline you need to follow. This is about creating lasting change, not quick fixes. Be patient and loving with yourself as you grow. You'll know these shifts are working when manifestation starts to feel easier and more natural. You'll notice that good things begin showing up in your life without as much effort or struggle. You'll feel more peaceful about your desires because you trust they're on their way. You'll start to see synchronicities and signs that confirm you're on the right path. Most importantly, you'll begin to feel different inside. You'll feel more confident, more trusting, more open to possibility. You'll feel like the conscious creator you truly are instead of a victim of circumstances. You'll know in your bones that you have the power to create a life you love. My beautiful friend, as we come to the end of our time together today, I want you to know how proud I am of you. Just by being here, just by opening your heart to these possibilities, just by considering that you might be more powerful than you previously believed, you've already begun to change your life. You are not the same person who started listening to these words. You've planted seeds of new awareness, new possibility, new hope in the garden of your consciousness. These seeds are already beginning to sprout, even if you can't see the growth yet. Trust that they're taking root in the perfect way and timing. You have everything within you that you need to manifest like a master. You don't need to become someone different or learn complicated techniques or wait until you're more worthy. You simply need to remember who you truly are and align with the incredible creative power that has always lived within you. Your dreams matter, sweetie. They're not too big or too small or too anything. They're perfect for you because they came from your heart, and your heart knows things that your mind is still learning. Trust those dreams. Nurture them with loving thoughts and grateful feelings. Hold them lightly and let them unfold in their own beautiful way. The universe is always conspiring in your favor, even when it doesn't look that way from your limited human perspective. Every experience you've had, every challenge you've faced, every joy you've known has been preparing you for this moment when you step into conscious creation with confidence and grace. You are loved beyond measure. You are supported in ways you can't even imagine. You are worthy of every beautiful thing you desire and so much more. The only thing standing between you and your dreams is the old thought patterns that convinced you that you couldn't have them, and now you know you can change those thoughts. As you go forward from here, be gentle with yourself. Celebrate small shifts and small victories. Notice the evidence that these new ways of thinking are working. Trust the process even when you can't see immediate results. Remember that you're planting seeds that will bloom in their perfect timing. You are a magnificent being having a human experience, and that human experience can be absolutely magical when you align with who you truly are. You came here to create, to love, to grow, to manifest beautiful things through your unique perspective and gifts. I believe in you completely. I believe in your dreams, in your worthiness, in your ability to create miracles in your life. And most importantly, I want you to believe in yourself. Because when you do, when you really truly believe in your own infinite potential, there's absolutely nothing you can't manifest. Go now and create the life your heart is calling for. You've got this beautiful soul. You've always had this, and now you know it too.